Yo, 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 this is Dorky Diggity Dave, and today I'm reviewing Kingsman, The Golden Circle. Check it out. Welcome back, guys. We are talking about Kingsman, The Golden Circle. It is the sequel to the original Kingsman movie, and this is a Matthew Vaughn feature, and of course, there's probably a lot of fun to talk about here, so let's go ahead and get into it. If you like the first movie, this one is definitely more of the same, which isn't really a bad thing. More of the same means more of the same awesome stuff, the same kind of fight scenes, the same crazy, gruesome, bloody, crazy jokes, like all kinds of stuff, all up in this movie, and it is a good time. You're gonna have a good time watching it. Now, there are some things about it which aren't better than the previous movie. I think the previous movie was a little bit more visceral and a little bit more adrenaline charged in the original movie. Now, this one still is good. There's a whole different story going on here. Of course, you have a new villain, and there's a lot of social commentary as well as political commentary just kind of hidden and peppered in there. A lot of little jabs that you might enjoy if you really pay attention. Now, of course, the movie is about a drug kingpin and the whole idea about drugs versus you know, alcohol and smoking, and why those things are allowed and why drugs aren't allowed. So there's a lot of those like little questions that they ask throughout the movie, and they make it in a funny, in-your-face, satirical, comical romp. Whatever, that's how I'm describing it. That's how we're gonna do that. And you're gonna find a lot of familiar faces in this movie. There's a lot of A-listers in here that you're gonna see, and as you see them throughout the movie, you're gonna be like, huh, they got her. Oh, they got him. Oh, wow, they got him. Wow, that's kind of crazy. You know, so like, that is also a really good time about it. And there's a really, really crazy cameo, which then gets even crazier later on in the movie, where you're just like, what? But they do write the movie well. There are things that are peppered into the beginning of the movie and throughout different parts of the movie that pay off later on in a way that you never really thought that they would. It just looks like a one-off little funny moment, and all of a sudden you're just like, oh wow, they kind of brought that around full circle. And that is a really, really cool part, and I actually enjoyed that. Now, if you're looking for deep meaning to your movie and you came to Kingsman to try to find that, you probably walked into the wrong theater, because that's not what any of this really is. It's just a really good time to enjoy some jokes, enjoy some great, crazy, off-the-wall action, and enjoy your popcorn while you're watching it. The movie did surprise me in a few points, and I do like that about films, because I was expecting some super cheesy, cliche kind of stuff to happen in a few different scenes, and I predicted them, and I was glad that I was wrong, and that is always a good thing for a movie for me. When you watch Kingsman, there's all these different gadgets and all this, you know, James Bond-y kind of stuff, and then you kind of get the feeling watching it that you're just like, did Kingsman just become more James Bond than James Bond's been James Bond? Because James Bond lately has kind of not been so much James Bond, a little more of other movies than James Bond, but now this is more like classic James Bond, like all the cool gadgets that they have, all the tech, all the things that they do throughout the movie. It kind of feels more old school James Bond in terms of, I guess, some of the older movies. The Daniel Craig stuff, I think, that's been coming out lately has been kind of a different take on 007, but I mean, that's a whole different conversation. I've already digressed, so that's that. The only really bad thing I could say about this is that there's so much CGI nowadays. Watching the movie, there's just like all these crazy camera-driven CGI scenes where you end up into your next scene, and some of it feels a little bit over the top and a little bit unnecessary, at least on a visual standpoint. I don't care too much for CGI. Like, for me, CGI has to have a reason to be used. Like, there has to be something that's going to accentuate the scene or make it better, and I don't think a lot of the uses are necessary. I really don't think the uses are necessary. Of course, I'm nitpicking at that. I do think it is a great movie. I don't think it's better than the original. I think the original was a little better put together. This one is just, they've already kind of set their standard with the first movie, and now they're just kind of having fun, and they're just throwing things in because they can. And that doesn't always translate into a good thing, but it's not exactly a bad thing. It's just kind of, I guess, in the middle. Verdict time, guys. I'm going with a bucket of popcorn, because this is a popcorn flick. You're gonna go, you're gonna have a good time. It's not gonna be anything too deep. It's a good time at the theater. I think you should go check it out, especially if you like the first movie. And if you didn't like the first movie, then you probably shouldn't check this out because it's kind of more of the same. And so that's where I am with that. Now, if you saw it, let me know what you thought down in the comments below, of course. Once again, this is Dorky Diggity Dave. You just watched a review for Kingsman, The Golden Circle. Let me know what you thought about the movie. Did you see it? Did you like it? Did you like the first one? Did you like this one? Did you think it was better? Did you not think it was better? I'd love to hear all of your thoughts on that. So if you liked the video, and I hope that you did, go ahead and click subscribe, click like, leave a comment, share with your friends, share with your mama. All that stuff helps me out. And remember, stay dorky, and I'll catch y'all on the flip.